What up, everyone? As always, the this stream wasn't originally planning to be as a game show stream, but you know, I felt actually a little bit bored. And the reason why I didn't stream yesterday is I wasn't really feeling up for doing a stream, so I decided to skip one day. Um, Originally streams were the next game show stream weren't supposed to be in July 3rd about US history, but I decided to do one about Swedish history, which I had done the quiz already, and I want to see how much of my own American friends know something about Swedish history. And to be honest, there are parts of even my country's history that I don't even know myself. Considering my country's history is like several thousands of years. I mean, considering as American history is, well, if you're considering as the modern, or at least the part of the settlers, it's a very quite young compared to my country's. You see, my country has been unified country for many centuries, much longer than the Americans actually. So I'm just want to see how much my friends know something about my country's history, though. Um, I actually have done two other quizzes about some countries' history. One is Japan's history. One other is world history that includes um, basically any other countries in the world, not only just American, Swedish, or it can be in anything actually. That quiz is about 120 questions, but that one won't be until much later on. And yeah, so I was hoping that maybe just seeing some of my other friends have been showing up to joining the stream. I know that this game guy and Roy are showing up. Oh, at least, well, two people actually showed up, but game guys are says devices not connected. Might have been issues of Wi-Fi, but who knows? But at least we have Retro Gamer.
Hey, what's up, Swedish? Swedish.
Yep.
I just went to subliminal hell. You know why?
What?
Because I messed up three Game Boy Color shells. Because I watched the wrong tutorial on YouTube, and let's just say it was not a fun time. So I ordered another one from Walmart, and it should be coming to my house. It's delivering to my house really soon, and yeah, I'm not gonna mess this up this time. Why? Because I found a proper tutorial. Game
Tutorial.
guy says this stupid computer isn't cooperating.
Yeah, I know, dude. It says the devices are not
Yeah,
connected.
technology's fucking horrible. I hate it.
Trust me,
Well,
dude. I
well, I don't
know.
hate. To be honest with you, I don't hate technology. I just don't like what it does at times. Like, for example, when I'm trying to do a tutorial video, for example, it always does this. Like, my camera will glitch out. I hate that. I
Yeah.
tried my one of my friends he recommended me a good camera, and shout out to him. I'm gonna buy that camera really soon, and I'm gonna upgrade from this one to another one really soon, so no need to worry. But hey, Swedish, as of right now I'm working on a tutorial video. If you want to take a sneak peek, this is what I'm working on. I'm working on this Game Boy Color. Haven't done anything to it yet, haven't touched it, haven't done anything to it at all. I'm working
Hmm.
on 'cause I just ordered a new IPS screen for it.
That's
Since
cool.
now I ordered it, like it was like a Q5 laminated IPS display that I ordered off of I believe it was Retro Game Repair Shop. I ordered that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen something similar. There was this, I believe there was this person. He actually bought. or at least found an old Game Boy. I don't remember from which one.
Yeah,
I,
I think
I
so
believe
too.
it's yeah. I believe that's the this was the one of the earliest models from the like when the Pokemon came
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. It was the
I,
original, the DMG.
yeah,
You know what you're talking about?
I believe. I don't remember exactly. I think he either found it in a trash can or he.
Oh yeah, I seen that short. Wait, you talking about the? No, it wasn't a DMG. It was a lime green Game Boy Color. He found that in a trash can, and he found Pokemon Blue too. That lucky
Yeah,
him.
and
Like,
yeah, and similar.
also, like, who would throw away a perfectly good Game Boy? Like, seriously,
Yeah,
you
and
guys are
another thing.
evil.
Yeah, another thing about that, the same. I believe if the same guy or if it's a different person who actually found, um, I believe it's an old handgun, completely rusted. Was not. It was basically useless. But he
Oh
made.
my god.
But he managed to restore it to 100% working condition.
Well, that's what you do electronics to work. You make them work, dude.
Yeah,
I do that
I
to
mean,
my electronics all the time. Like whenever there's like a bug in my Game Boy, I always put some IPA and like get my toothbrush and just scrub away.
exactly.
Especially with the
I
card
mean,
reader. I noticed that with a lot of Game Boys now, the card reader doesn't work. Like
hmm
each
yeah,
time the card reader doesn't work. Like for example, when I got this Game Boy, when I got this motherboard, the card reader wasn't working, so I had to I had to unscrew the Game Boy, get my toothbrush, get IPA, and just go to town with it. Like it was crazy.
yeah. I
But
mean,
it works now. It works now. But
yeah. I mean,
the game I'm gonna be testing is Pokemon Blue. I think
um,
yeah, it is Pokemon Blue. Yeah, that's the game
yeah.
I have right now. My
I mean,
Pokemon Gold doesn't work, so I have to use my flashcard to play Pokemon Crystal.
exactly. I mean, to find some old games, consoles, or even other things. I mean, um, I did see one guy who found an old car, an old truck, which has been sitting in the woods for almost between I believe it was 85 or almost 90 years, and he managed to get it up and running.
Damn, that's
That's
electronics for you. You gotta learn the basics, dude. Like saying here. Got on the basics, but other than that, Swedish, I gotta get going, man. I have to do stuff with the staff, good old staff. So I want to say this to Game Guy. Game Guy, I love you, man. Thank you so much for helping me out in my live stream. You were a big help. I really do appreciate that. I know you were excited in my stream, so yeah, I love you, man. I love you too, like a bro. I love y'all both as brothers. So I gotta go. Y'all take care. I'm not gonna leave you long. Bye, guys.
stay up. And Brony, no, you have to admit something. The game show stream hadn't even started yet. It's Game Guy has a little problem with his his it was getting in there, but let's say it said devices not connected, and he is probably going to use his phone edition for this. And yeah, Stormy, I totally agreed on that though. And let's see if the devices for working out for the brothers, since they are now in the backstage. It says devices not connected. Again, great. Um, and Brony, this is Game Show stream. What's it supposed to be in this time? Actually, what's it until um July 3rd? But since I was kind of bored and I want to see was one of my friends would like to be up for the Swedish history and my suffering. uh, Gang guy, I wonder if that's the problem. If it would have been the same problem if you were at your mom's place, or if they would have been the same, or if it's only at your dad's place. It's is it something? I don't know. To be honest, I was really surprised. You know, this is actually the first time in a while that your uh, connection problem hasn't been like this. And as Stormy said, starting the stream is with the right side A. Always the best, am I right? Well, brother, sweet Stormy, um, I wouldn't know, to be honest. uh, well, game guy, you probably, if you can't use your phone edition, you may have to sit out of this time. I mean, I can always skip this games stream and just make it a normal stream. Otherwise, if you can't join in. So, Brony, how you been doing?
I'm fine.
Um, has Indonesia and their the monsoon period time yet?
Hmm.
Isn't that the rain season that lasts for several months? I have. I cannot even imagine it's been like living in one place in the world where constant rain so much. Honestly, I for at least a few weeks now, we had only had rain twice in almost in a month. We had this kind of drought for a while, but at least one thing, my country has never even reached the temperature as much as the American Death Valley, which has around, I think it was a record 134 degrees Fahrenheit, which is well, a lot of temperature for sure. And look, my favorite brothers are finally here. Stop game guy, Roy. If you guys are if you're talking, I can't even hear a single word. Unless your mic settings, um, it's about almost the total max. Um, it's about almost the total max. Wait, I can hear you. Um, you can't even hear? Holy. Oh my goodness. I mean, I can hear you though, I think. Technology. It's just total sucks sometimes. Sometimes when it's the Wi-Fi problems the, or the mic problems. I remember, I believe it was at least a few months ago, Kubo, he had a problem with his mic, and that was a complete bummer, especially when he was in a game show stream with me and others. And Kyle or Game Guy would have to have him as a had him as a teammate, and he would have to use the private chat the whole time. That was a bummer.
Please tell me it's working now.
Yep, it
Thank
works.
God. It's about to swim.
And
Hello.
there's Stormy. Oh,
Ah,
oh, weird.
dude, it's been a while. I think
Yeah, it
something's
has
wrong.
been.
Something's wrong with my. Oh well,
So, you guys been up to?
been up to this. Hold on, let me show you. I promise it's not a prank. I decided that was over a while ago.
What?
Stop doing my prank
Not
stuff.
much.
I can barely hear you, Stormy.
Is my mic working?
Hang on. I can just
I can hear him
try
fine.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just the. That was just the audio, or I uh, I boosted it a little bit, and I'm gonna lower Game Guy's volume a little bit from 200 to about 130, so it wasn't too loud. So you guys been up to otherwise though? I mean, is there any dry seasons or rainy weather? Oof, that's hurt.
Hey, that kind of looks like that scrape you once got, Kyle.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Hold on. Gotta switch his camera around
Back in
real quick.
winter.
Trust me, that's not a good thing. That's not fun to experience. I had myself. Um,
So embarrassing.
Yo, that's
I
fair.
do. I even remember when actually not was that not long ago, only about a week ago. Our next door neighbor, their son, let's say he broke his arm after he fell off his electric scooter. At
That's
least
not
he
just
had
one,
this.
it's two. It's two, and you got one back here.
Okay, Stormy, what in the world did you do to get that to happen?
I was doing cross country and I was practicing like I usually do now. It's a routine of mine. And then like I was in the dirt. I was running in the dirt, and I tripped. And I fell right on
Oh,
my leg and my arm.
If that's your
was that like?
idea of practice, if that's your idea of practicing, maybe rethink.
Wait, was it actual dirt?
Yes, there's actual dirt. I was doing cross country. I do 2
Well,
miles.
let's say this. At least that the dirt is better than to be scrape yourself on like asphalt, which
It
is
got it
real.
got I did scrape myself and it got in my wound.
Mm, I
Ugh.
mean, I have I did once when I was much younger. I I would say maybe between 7 and 10, perhaps. I don't remember exactly what age I were. Um, my parents and I, we were in my own town. I was running, and despite my parents told me not to, and I fell forward and scraped my. I believe this was in the summer. I scraped my knee, and it was pretty bad.
That's what I did.
So
I fell forward. I
yeah,
landed on my arm in some rocks as well. So
well, depends. I mean, at least though, at least it was like this. When it like in the when it is during summer, when it is really warm or really hot outside, and then when the asphalt is getting a little bit kind of uh half liquid state, at least a part of surface, where and getting scraped in that, that is not good because liquid asphalt in scrapes worms like that, it's only get intensifies the pain like I don't know, maybe 10 times worse. I mean,
sorry.
at least be glad for that what it happened. I
I'll,
haven't. And that's why and you never and never walk barefoot on warm asphalt. Well, at least when it's like really warm. But otherwise, it's just don't. It's getting like having hardened tar on your feet. Yeah, let's say it's not easy to get that removed. Probably had to go to the hospital for that. I'm just saying it's something that you really don't want to mess around with. Um, Stormy, are you gonna play your own? Stormy. Anyways, how much do you guys know of Swedish history?
Swedish history. Kyle, you might want to go Could be.
Oh, I'm back. I'm back. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
My iPad's been having some bad problems the past couple days. And you know, it's actually getting pretty hot, so
You know, I have to make a point here. Your voice sounds a little bit different than usually did before. Like a bit deeper.
what do you mean?
Well, a bit deeper.
Oh, shoot.
That's about the second D20.
Some pretty good stuff there, though.
I mean that you're getting into puberty and getting older, so
Excuse me.
it's nothing to be embarrassed about.
140 pounds to 126. What do you think, baby? Yes, I was fat, believe it or not.
Excuse me.
Man, it's getting hot here. I just turn on like
Yo, you
a
guys should have
fan, one
seen.
fan, and just my
You guys should have seen Kyle's new game. It's awesome.
Yeah, actually, I was there to saw it when it's first playing it, and it was something.
No, his newest game.
Ah, then I don't know what it is.
He
Is it a
got a
Mario?
new. He got a new ROM hack.
Huh. Anyways, are you guys Stormy? Are you gonna play?
Ah,
All right.
yeah,
That's fine.
I'll play. I'll play.
Oh boy.
You could be with
Well, let's,
Ronnie. I want to be a Roy.
well, let's see what you guys know about my counter's history. And be honest, there are a lot of it even I don't know. Let's see what you guys know about this time. Who's gonna play with who though? I mean, it's gonna be in teams or separate.
I want to be with him. Can you specify him? There's 4 hymns here. I want to be Roy. That's fine with me.
And Braun is like, I hope I don't pass out.
Well, you're going to if you end up being broke with
Oh man.
Corbin.
I mean, that's up to Storm if he want to play himself or with the team or something.
I mean, it's almost like it's not like it matters if we're on a team anyway. I literally know nothing about Sweden history.
Do you guys hear that noise in the background? I'm just wondering.
I mean, it's echoing a little bit on your end, I
Uh,
think, but
Yeah, I got my fan on. I don't have my other fan on. I just have this one because my other fan's got some problems.
Well,
And
it depends. Saying I have 2 fans on myself at the moment, facing right at me. I mean, I like summer, but sometimes I prefer the autumn and the winter.
If you're wondering why I don't turn my other fan on, let me show you. Hold on, it's not right.
right. So I guess Bro is with Stormy then.
Alright, finally got it. I got it. It's got this horrible problem. This is why I don't run this fan.
Anyways, are you guys ready though?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hey, who's gonna go first?
Ako karaga. Oneratora.
Okay, number 1. The Vikings built Sweden's first city on an island. In which century was it built? A. 10th century, B. 8th century, C. 7th century, or D. 11th century. I actually can say I actually been to this island.
Who goes first? I'm gonna roll these d20s. They can be red, I guess they can be orange. I'm just gonna assume Brony and Stormy are a team, because we're a team. Right.
I
Alright.
hate that. It's so annoying.
Whoever's highest goes first, I guess. Oh wow, that okay. Alright, we'll go first then. We got a 19, they got a 4. Alright. Cool. So put us on the top, Swedish.
What?
Put us on the top, we'll go first. Alright. I don't know if you want to do a D22 or I'm just gonna do it for the whole quiz.
All right, what were the options again? 10th or 20th century?
It's actually the brothers going first.
Oh,
Yeah, you and Brony are just like team 2 though, the team B. Okay, so the Viking.
Sorry.
I should expect that to happen. The Vikings built Sweden's first city on an island. In which century was it they built the city? A. 10th century, B. 8th century, C. 7th century, or D. 11th century?
I'm gonna go with A because that's what the D20 told me to go for.
I go with 8. I go.
Oh,
with,
you're not with it. You're not with him. I'm with him.
I
Can't
go with
answer when
8th
it's not your
century.
turn, Stormy.
I go with 8th century as well. With Game Guy, I agree with him.
Well, actually, Stormy, your Roy and Gang Guy are one team.
Yeah.
Wait. Oops. What does Brony think about it?
Yeah, you
Not
with
his
Brony.
turn. It's
You're
being Kyle's.
I think 8th century.
We go, and then you go after us.
All right.
Like you do the next question. Your question too.
So you said Kyle said 10th century, but what do you say, Roy?
I'm gonna go with the highest. I'm gonna go with D.
D and A ain't wrong. It's actually B, 8th century.
Yeah, I got it right.
I actually been to this island, and even though that there's they actually rebuilt the Viking city or town on it. This surprising, this island actually was well connected to the rest of the Baltic Sea, like Estonia, even rest of Europe. But that was until like after the land rising up more, which cut off the trading routes for this particular island. And it's still considered one of the biggest, one of the first cities in my country. Okay, number 2. How long did the Vikings' first city last before it was abandoned? A. 125 years. B. 310 years. C. 225 years. Or D. 258 years. Well, this is actually Brony and Stormy's question.
All right. I go with 250 years.
D.
You say
I don't know too much about Swedish history. I'm just
what?
guessing.
Yeah, but which answer did you say?
I said 250 years.
Brony, what do you say?
D.
B.
Hmm.
310 years. B and D ain't wrong. It's actually C. 225 years. Considering it's we're long lasted though. Okay, for the brothers, number 3. In what year? In what year was it when Sweden became an independent country? A. 1480. B. 1523. Or C. 1260. Or D. 1120.
B final. I'm not sure. I'm gonna roll the dice. C final.
C ain't wrong. It's actually B. Yeah, we
You
actually
told me that.
celebrate my
So I actually
yeah
remembered.
yeah my country actually celebrated its 500 years anniversary as a country um, earlier in June 6th, which is kind of like our Independence Day. Okay, number four, the first hard question. In what year did Sweden's capital city of Stockholm become the country's official capital city? A. 1420, B. 1560, C. 1252, or D. 1348?
I'm gonna start writing this down. So, what are the options again?
1420, 1560, 1252, 1348.
I think C.
C.
Yeah.
Brony, what do you say?
Solid D.
B. Wrong. It's actually C. 1252.
Let's go.
Alright, so they actually
Yeah,
got
so
it
the
right.
capital, basically the capital that actually was became official. That was 1252, which it's considerable at the time. Okay, number five. Um, okay, when did the Bronze Age started in Sweden? A. 1800 BC. B. 2500 BC. C. 3500 BC. Or D. 2200 BC.
I'm gonna roll my dice. Alright, I'm going with C final. I'm gonna roll mine too, actually. I'm going with A final.
C ain't wrong. A, ding 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 ding, correct. It's actually 1800 BC.
Yeah. From
Number
Jersey, when he got it right in 19.
Number six. This is our first trick question. Is there a city in Sweden stabilized in the late 10th century? Yes or no?
Maybe.
Uh, this is actually for Brony and Stormy.
I know, I was kidding.
I say no. I concur with no.
All right, Brony, what do you say?
He's gone.
Usually we will say the opposite otherwise, but since he's muted,
Oh no. I think I know why it's loose. I think I know why my fan's making that noise, awful noise. Gotta fix it.
so you said no. It's actually wrong. It's actually 10th century. It was there were actually cities that was made or stabilized in the late 10th century. Where I live, it wasn't even stabilized until much later on. My hometown was stabilized in I believe it was sometimes in the 1600s.
Do I get it right? Did I get it right or wrong?
I get it wrong.
Dang it.
Okay, number seven. In what year did Norway and Sweden join in a union? A. 1805, B. 1814, C. 1900, or D. 1799?
I'm actually gonna go with B. I feel like I feel like that sounds about right.
You said B.
I'm
What
going.
did you say?
I'm going with A.
A ain't wrong. B, ding ding ding, correct. It's actually 1814.
Yeah, that's what I
Second
thought.
one,
Because that was like during the World War I, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah. Okay, the next hard question is for Stormy and Brownie.
Yay.
How long did the union between the countries of Sweden and Norway lasted before it was dissolved or disbanded? A, 54 years, B, 91 years, C, 12 years, or D, 84 years?
Uh, I go. I go with D.
84 years. All right.
What? No, actually, is there another? Are there other options?
54 years, 91 years, 12 years, 84 years.
I go B.
B. Brony, what do you go for?
84 years.
D. Wrong. B. Incorrect. It was actually 91 years. Almost a century. And I was way that was all the way before even I was born. Okay, number 9 for the brothers. In what year did Sweden's first king became Christian? A. 1020, B. 980, or C. 994, or D. 1040.
D.
D.
You go with D. I'm rolling my dice too, actually.
Vote on D.
No, I'm rolling my dice right now. It landed on D, but I wanted to do something different. There we go. All right, I'm going with B.
All right, you go with B. Gaming guy.
I went with D.
B or D.
D as in dog.
Okay. Roy said B, right?
Yeah, I said
Yeah.
B.
B and D. Wrong. It's actually C. 994 AD.
Darn. Oh well.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Okay, number 10 for the Brony and Stormy.
All right.
When did potatoes came to Sweden the first time? A. 1750, B. 1860, C. 1740, or D. 1654.
I go with C.
Right, Brony, what do you go for?
A.
Let's see what he will say.
A.
A. A and C. Wrong. It's actually D. 1654. When the potatoes came to Sweden, though, it was basically not even used as a food source. It was much later on, because at the time people actually ate the leaves, the actual plant, not the crops underneath. Even one time when it came to England, let's say part of the royal family and the nobles were actually get sick from it. And the queen banned the potatoes from the royal palace for quite a long time for that. The actual plant itself is poisonous, but not the actual potatoes were not. Okay, number 11. When did Sweden lose Finland to Russia? A. 1822, B. 1795, C. 1809, D. 1845.
Topical. I'm rolling the dice. And I got a 1. Updates don't change. Alright, I'm going with A. Hey, it's our turn, not your turn. Down there in the private chat. Jeez Louise. I rolled my dice too. B. Alright, I'm going with B.
B and A. Wrong. It's actually C. 1809.
I'm not giving you that point, by the way, Stormy. That was our question, not yours.
I didn't answer it. That was another one.
I mean, even when this happened, Sweden lost Finland to Russia, we lost a huge part of the population. If we had still had belonged to Finland today, the population wouldn't even have been at 10 million. Would have been around between 14 and 15 million. Since they're only 5 million, we are 10 million. Or, well, 10 and a half, kinda. Okay, number 12, trick question. Has parts of Sweden once belonged to Denmark? Yes or no?
All right, I got my answer. Thinking it up for a while, but I think I know it. I think yes.
All right.
That's my trick question.
Brony, what do you think?
Same thing.
Has parts of Sweden once belonged to Denmark? Yes or no? Stormy said yes. What do you say?
I thought Brony said same thing.
The same?
Yeah, he agreed.
All right. Yes, it actually did happen. At least the southern part and the part of the west coast did belong to Denmark for quite a while, but we managed to get it back from them after certain war. But anyways, number 13. When did Sweden got its current royal family? A. 1755, B. 1818, C. 1836, or D. 1874?
I'm gonna go with the most reasonable. Actually, I'm gonna go with D. I'm gonna go with B.
D ain't wrong. B, ding ding ding, correct. It's actually 1818. In fact, they even celebrated 200 years anniversary as a royal family only a couple of years ago. Even if we have a monarch, but our king has no power whatsoever in the ruling.
Swedish, I'm gonna
He,
go for a few minutes so I can,
all
actually
right.
get my fan fix because I've had enough.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, but don't worry. Brony can still play for you in the meantime.
Yeah. Do you want me to leave actual or just?
You can only mute yourself and be back when you can. Excuse me. Okay, number 14. This might a little bit. Oh, bye, Stormy. This might be a little bit morbid, but or a little bit not for a topic that most people don't want to talk about. But
Oh.
when was when were the last public execution in Sweden? A. 1905, B. 1896, C. 1820, or D. 1780?
Well, you're right about it being morbid.
At least your country had even any public execution anymore, like in up for open public. But
I'm gonna go with D.
it's actually Brownie's turn and Stormy's.
Oh. Hold on, let me just retract that D. Just retract. Yeah, that's how that works.
Brownie, what do you say?
Yeah, for fun, I'll say D then. Since I know it's not my
Question
turn,
again?
but I might as well just say it.
What's it from Brownie?
Mm-hmm.
What do you say?
What's the question again?
When was the last public execution in Sweden? 1905, 1896, 1820, or 1780?
70-80.
1780 ain't wrong. It was actually 1896.
But the answer was that.
I believe it was you had the same question. You said the same answer. It was B, 1896. You know, still that in the US, like even like American history, in the early years of after the settlement, after it became independent, and until before modern times, there were a lot of executions of hanging in public. But now they have this in prisons, and but I don't. But actually, the I would say in the South, even during the 50s and up to like I believe maybe it's the 70s, where there were some some public execution in the American South of mostly of like racist people that were executed, some black people or others in the deep South. I mean, I'm not so certain if that was real or not, but if that happened, it's unlike it's wouldn't happen. Anyways, number 15. How long did the Iron Age lasted in Sweden? A. 650 years. B. 1240 years. C. 1550 years. Or 1550 years. Or D. 990 years.
Um,
I'm gonna go with A.
I'm going with C.
A. Wrong. C. Ding ding ding. Correct. It's 1550 years. Um. Okay. This is actually next question is it's kind of like a holiday type of question. Brony, do your family celebrate Christmas by any chance?
Nope.
Your family don't celebrate Christmas?
Nope.
All right, I had to ask because that is actually the topic of the question. When did Sweden begin to use Christmas trees for Christmas? A. 1865, B. 1741, C. 1892, or D. 1905?
7005.
1905.
Mm.
D. That's a final.
Mm.
Wrong. It's actually B. 1741. And you know what the funny part is? When we started using the Christmas tree in Sweden that time, they were not standing on the floor. They were actually hanging in the roof, like in the ceiling, and not sideways. They were actually hanging, but the top of the tree was hanging downwards, while the foot was somehow stuck in the ceiling. But it wasn't like sometimes later on when they start using it on the floor, and decorations came much later on. Um, but we had not always been using Santa Claus. We used something that called a Christmas goat. Like a person or a man was dressed as a goat giving out the gifts. But slowly, eventually, the new trend of Santa Claus came in the use, and slowly the Christmas goat was slowly faded away and replaced with Santa Claus in my country. But they were basically the same. They were basically the same idea. Anyways, oh, good question for this one. Number 17. When did Sweden get right-hand traffic? A.
What?
1952. Traffic for using driving side. You know, driving. Uh, so was it A. 1952, B. 1974, C. 1967, or D. 1970?
uh,
Can you say the answers again?
1952, 1974, 1967, or 1970?
Right. I'm going with A.
I'm gonna go with D.
1970?
Yeah.
A and D ain't wrong, so actually C, 1967. You know what a funny part of this, though?
What?
You know, my grandmother, my late grandmother actually, she did get her driving license the same day when they changed from left side to right side for the cars. She had been practiced with the driving license too on the left side. So the same day when she got the license, they had changed from left to right. So you get to understand what this funny part is. I mean, she had practiced for it to be used driving on the left side. But the same day when she got the license, they had changed from left to right. And that day, it was a lot of traffic accidents. And I do believe that England is the only country in the at least in Europe, so far as I know, that still drives on the left side, not the right. I mean, okay, here's what it is. If you were living in a country and you have a car and a license and all that, and you've been used to driving on the right side, and if you were going to a country like, say, United Kingdom or England, and you had been driving on the left side, but here another part is that they don't drive on the left side. The passenger or driver's seat is actually on the passenger side instead. So sitting on the right side of the car and driving on the left side, that's a little bit, might be a little bit, I would say would it being uncomfortable, but it would be in bit strange. I mean, if you have been used to drive, sit on the left side in a car and drive on the right side of the road, but come to a country where there's complete opposite, yeah, so you know that might be a little, you know, get had to get used to it. Um, I would have been surprised. Uh, I believe, um, at least that, at least though, if your brother Dylan, he if he has a car or if a license, he probably is used driving on the left side. And look,
Malachi,
Malachi
your ass in here now!
is probably yikes, dude. Brazil also at the same at this some point in time also had driving on the left side. You know, I wouldn't be surprised that a lot of countries in the world were driving on the left side, but I wouldn't say it's exactly if all the right countries in the world was driving on the same side of the road if they were different. I mean, think about if you like go back way back in time, like say a few hundred years, when before cars was even invented. Like there were no any. You could drive your cart or chariot either left or right. Um, I do wonder if the United Kingdom actually had any some form of, you know, voting if they want to change from left side to right. I don't know, wouldn't even know. And Malachite, if you want to join in, you can always do that because I'll put the link back there in the stream. We have done so far number 17, actually. Okay, number 18. How many? Oh, this is a hard question. How many years did the Bronze Age last in Sweden before it went over to Iron Age? 1,000 years, A, 1,000 years, B, 500 years, C, 1,300 years, or D, 900 years?
Uh, I'm gonna go with D.
I believe it's actually Brony's turn.
Or I guess I'm just gonna go back to relaxing. That works.
A little tired.
Brony,
Brony, get done.
you said B?
Hmm.
500 years?
Yep.
Wrong. It's actually C. 1300 years. Okay, number
Almost.
19. When did Sweden reach 8 million people? A. 1956, B. 1968, C. 1972, or D. 1980?
I'm rolling this. Now I'm gonna go C. I shall go with D.
D. 1980.
Yeah.
C and D. Wrong. It's actually B. 1968.
Darn.
Yeah, we got 5 points.
Okay,
Fine.
okay, Brownie, number 20. In which year did Sweden's only preserved 17th century warship Vasa sink? Yeah, Vasa is the actual name with a Vasa, Vasa. Was it A, 1562, B, 1734, or C, 1752, or D, 1628?
C.
C?
Hmm.
Wrong. It was actually D, 1628. And here's the most sad part of this though. At the time, Sweden were actually in a war in Europe, and this ship was supposed to be the newest warship. It never even this particular warship never saw a single day in a single battle because this ship never even left country. It sank actually near the harbor, and it turned out the reason why the on those types of ships at the time used stones as some sort of a weight to make sure that the ship was even chipped on the side. But it was a very low number of the stones in its cargo. So when just a small breeze of wind pushed the ship to the side, and they had the cannon ports, the cannon doors on the side of it open, and the water just just started flooding in. And another thing about this, the ship had too many cannons, so this ship never saw a single battle for this entire build. It's but you can actually see the ship. It's has been completely restored. It's actually in a museum right now in Stockholm. At one point, you could actually walk on the ship, an actual point when it was in the museum, but not anymore because because of the safety. It's incredible. Um, okay, number 21. How long did the warship Vasa lay on the bottom? A. 250 years. B. 333 years. C. 422 years. Or D. 452 years. And this is for the brothers.
D.
D. So as a dog.
Yep.
Okay, what do you say, Roy?
I'm gonna go C.
C and D ain't wrong. It's actually B. 333 years. You know, the ship was actually just had almost been forgotten. It's it wasn't like in the 1960s when a man found the ship. They managed to pull up, and they and the process, of course, to being restored took time. It's shocking that uh, I would say maybe as 80 or perhaps it's between 80 and 85% of the entire ship was still much intact. Even there were a lot of things scattered around. They even found sails that was pretty much still intact. And this ship from the early 1600s is the only ship in the whole world that's still intact. Other ships like this were may have been battles and they've been either sank and they were completely destroyed. But this ship never saw a battle, so it was perfectly safe and intact. Well, of course, shortly after it sank, they did use diving bells in order to salvage some cannons, some other things. It's it was a sad day. I actually been to this museum myself twice and seen the ship. It's it's incredible work. It's it is. Okay, number 22. How many kings has Sweden had? A 32, B 29, C 23, or D 45? And this is actually Brony's. If he can't talk, he can always use the private. Ah, he said 29. Uh, excuse me. Um, B, wrong, was actually C, 23 kings. You know, Sweden actually had Sweden actually had a number of kings in it, even as early as 900 ADs. But unfortunately, some of those kings can't be verified if they were actually real or not. Some of them has some of those are considered as like King Arthur, like fairy tale kind of kings, since there are no there are no tombs or anything like those. So despite being written in some sort of chronicles or some or history books, but without any actual evidence or any actual remains for those kings, it's they can't be verified if they actually exist. One king ruled for 44 years. He ruled when he was only 3 years old. That's this actually the first long lasting king. The second is actually Sweden's current king. We have actually been in king as 45 or 46 years. It's incredible. I mean, being chosen as a king as a 3-year-old. I mean, I assume, presumably, like at least that he had some sort of legal guardian that took care of his until he was old enough to even couldn't even understand what it being as a king as. Okay, number 23. When did Sweden reach 10 million people? And then is this for the brothers? 2011, A 2011, B 2005, C 2019, or D 2017?
I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm gonna say B.
2005?
Yeah.
Right? What do you say, Roy?
Alright, give me that dice. Now I'm gonna go C.
2017?
Yeah.
B ain't wrong. D, ding ding ding, correct. It's actually 2017.
Oh. Well, alright.
Okay, number 24. Which Swedish king was assassinated during an opera? A. John the Third. B. Eric the 14th. C. Gustav the Third. Or D. Gustav the First. And this is the Brony's question. He said A. John the Third. And wrong, was actually C. Gustav the Third. In which year were the Swedish king assassinated? A. 1792, B. 1685, or C. 1745, or D. 1690? And this is for the brothers.
I'm gonna go D.
1690. All right.
Yep.
Again, guy. What
And
do you
I,
say?
it went with B again, so I guess B final.
D and B ain't wrong. It's actually A, 1792. You know, despite this, the king actually had been informed about this assassination attempt on his life. And even his personal guard, and including the police chief at the time, also had been informed about this by an anonymous letter, but the king ignored all the warnings. And he was actually shot during the opera. And as the names and the other was Gustav III, which was killed, and Gustav I, they are not related whatsoever. At least I think of. Okay, number 26. In which year was Sweden's prime minister murdered or shot? A. 1975, B. 1965, C. 1986, or D. 1982? And this is for Brony. He picked C, 1986. Ding ding ding, correct. It's actually C. And this is the only prime minister was actually even murdered. This was actually around the same year as the Chernobyl disaster happened. This prime minister, he was actually gunned down outside a movie theater with his wife. His wife was okay though, but here's the part. They never found the culprit. They never found the killer of this murder. At first, April had to be ruling out as well as the time limit of to find a killer had almost expired, but now it had been extended. But it's very, very unlikely they will find the killer. One of the killers or suspect actually was harassed so badly that he moved to America, where he eventually ended up dying for some unrelated incident. Which, but yeah, okay. This might be a little bit morbid as well because this is actually for you guys. In which year were Stockholm's bloodbath happened? A 1630, B 1580, C 1520, or D 1280? As a refer, well, like Stockholm's bloodbath, yeah, this was actually did actually happen in the capital. There were a large number of people that was executed, like beheaded, and the blood was pouring down along the street. But like the street was red of blood for days. Yeah, just saying. It's
I'll just answer for him. Right.
sorry.
I go with C, and here I'll roll. I'll roll his dice for him.
Yeah, I forgot that he was has a weak stomach for blood.
He would have gone with
At
A.
least, at least, although I never meant, even though I never actually show that, that would have been, or even been on the site. Okay, you said A, ain't wrong. C, ding ding ding, correct. It's actually 1520. Oh, that's yeah, that was horrible time when a lot of people were executed by beheaded on, I believe it was the main plaza actually. It's it was a hard times. Okay, number 28 trick question for Brownie. Has any Swedish king been beheaded? Yes or no? Wrong. It's actually yes. One Swedish king actually, at least as far as I know, at least one actually was had his head cut off by a sword. He had left the church without his guards. And according to the story, that after what his head landed on the ground, a spring sprouted out of the ground, and he became a saint. Well, he was declared a saint, but this was, I believe, was in the 1200s. It's uh, it's a hard to be understanding that's, well, you know, really crazy that had happened. But at that times, people did what they wanted to do. They could even hire assassins or like that. So, if I don't know. Number 29 for the brothers. In which century did with Sweden became as a united country? A. 14th century. B. 10th century. C. 13th century. Or D. 16th century.
It's gonna be alright to answer down there.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
Here, I'll answer first. D.
B or D.
I said D.
All right. And for your brother?
Um, I think it might be A.
Final?
Yeah.
A and D ain't wrong. It's actually C. 13th century. Okay, this is actually it's for Brony, but this is actually something that has happened for not that long ago. How many Swedes left Sweden during the migration to United States? A. 50,000. B. 900,000. C. 1.3 million. Or D. 250,000. He said A. 50,000. Wrong. It was actually C. 1.3 million people. You know, a lot of those people that actually moved to United States, some of them actually came back to Sweden sometime afterwards. And today, 4 million Americans can actually claim as part of their heritage as a part of Sweden, actually. Like Buzz Aldrin, the second man to step on on the moon, he was actually part American with Swedish ancestry. It's kind of cool, though. Okay, that's part number 31. It's kind of has an indirect question about Stockholm's bloodbath. Just to be warned, out, you got game guy. How many died during the Stockholm's bloodbath? A. 56. B. 82. C. 28. D. 46.
I'm going with highest. I'm going with B.
Right.
He already went with D 20. There we go.
D.
All right, I'm going with A.
A. Wrong. B. Incorrect. Was actually 82 people. But some believe it could have been even as more as 100. But I do more likely that's 82 people lost their lives at that day. It's you know, those people that lost his life, it was priests, several priests, and even nobles that lost their lives. They were actually pretty much against the new king. So rather than just put them behind bars in dungeons, he had them be executed instead. A little too extreme punishment, if you ask me, though. I mean, rather being put them in some dungeons the rest of their lives, but nope. I just like, ugh, that's the worst. I mean, they were not even doing anything like only speaking against the new king. And here's the whole strange part of that story, though. The king actually invited all those people to a celebration of his coronation. But they lasted for about 3 days, and after the celebration was over, it was then when all were taken to the main plaza to be had to be executed. That's a really twisted story part of how to celebrate his coronation. They invite the people that he wanted to be executed, and just that's a little bit weird, messed up, in I to be saying as. Anyways, number 32 trick question: were Sweden neutral in both world wars? Yes or no? And this for Brony. He said no, and that's actually wrong. We were actually neutral in both world wars. About that, if we were able to join in NATO, this defense alliance, we will lose our neutrality. So if there would be another third world war or something like that, we would not be able to declare ourselves as neutral. Finland actually had joined NATO recently. Sweden, uh, it's still in a work in progress in that, so I don't know. I can't even follow the news much of that. Okay, number 33. When did Sweden's former castle, Three Crowns in Stockholm, burn down? Yeah, it's literally, the name is not literally Three Crowns, but when I searched online on English, it didn't have any English name, so I literally just named it as Three Crowns. I mean, the castle literally had on the highest tower like 3 crowns as a symbol, which hence the name as it was called 3 crowns. But in which year it was burned down? A. 1758, C. 1697, C. 1588, or D. 1648. And this for the brothers.
B.
I'm gonna say D.
D ain't wrong. B, you need it incorrect. It was actually 1697. You know, the funny thing about this, after the castle burned down, the current castle or palace that was built afterwards is actually built on the foundation. And the basement part of the new castle, or the old one, is still pretty much used as museum. I actually been there once. It's surprising, and the royal family, they don't even live in the royal palace in Stockholm's capital city, not at all. That castle is actually more as a tourist attraction. It's a big one, and it costs a lot of money to maintain. And as my dad says, that doesn't even look like a castle. When is the one that telling you the word castle? You mean like towers and like a mouth or a road, like this type of canal around this castle. But this castle in the capital in Sweden doesn't even look like that. Look like a 4 square building, no towers whatsoever, which is yeah, weird. Okay, for Brony, hard question. You're surprised that you hadn't even get any hard question that start so far. Number 34. When was the first time when a Christian monk came to Sweden in order to convert the Swedish people from pagan belief like the Norse gods to Christianity? A. 980, B. 830, C. 780, or D. 1000 AD?
B.
He said A, and wrong, was actually B.
Oh,
And
I got it right anyway.
Huh. Wasn't even your turn.
yeah, and here's the part of the monk, he actually did manage to build a small church and gather small gatherings. But after he left, that those followers went back to the pagans, like to believe the old gods. He came back sometimes later on again and built another church, but this one became more permanent. It still was it was a lot of progress in that. In around the one in the 1000 AD is when after the first king became a Christian. Okay, don't take me this wrong, but I don't know if this is real or not. But he was literally forcing his own people to convert to Christianity. And those who didn't had snakes being forced down in their throats. And I can't confirm if that is real or if that is some sort of like a historical myth, like an urban legend or something. But if that would have been true, having this own people, like our own one of the first kings, forcing his own people to have snakes pushed down their throat in unless they didn't start believing in Christianity. That a little messed up. But of course, in the early Christianity in Sweden or in Europe, people could take a little too drastic to make people believe in a religion. Luckily though, that doesn't happen any much anymore these modern days. Goodness for that. Okay, number 35 for the brothers. When were the current palace in Stockholm built? A. 1652, C. 1785, 1785, C. 1850, or D. 1697?
Uh, D.
D.
Yep.
I'm gonna go.
What do you say, Roy?
I'm saying B.
B ain't wrong. It's actually D. They actually built the new
Yeah, yeah.
current. They actually built the new current castle in Stockholm around the same year as the old castle burned down to the ground. You know, there's actually one building in capital that still is called uh, Three Crowns, but not this castle, but I believe it's a type of city hall building. I have never actually been there, but it, it's anyways. Trick question: did the Nazi troops pass through Sweden during the war? Yes or no? And this was Brony's question, or trick question.
Yeah.
He said yes. Ding ding ding. Correct. They did. They were not allowed to transport any sort of weapons or ammunitions or any armed force like tanks or planes to front the country. Only troops. You know, if they didn't, it's a very realistic chance that they would have invaded. And sometimes after the war was over, some documents actually revealed they were planning to invade Sweden despite we were neutral. They could have invaded my country pretty much easy. Even though we did have our own air force at the time, but our planes was outdated. We had like what 150 planes total. They had around this, I believe it was 150,000 planes. They are planning to take over at least the capital and the second biggest on the west coast and a few others. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. Okay, 37. Oh boy, another morbid question for you guys.
I believe. Okay, you know what's weird?
No man,
We,
don't worry. It's not mentioning of blood.
do you want to know what's weird though? We're
What?
getting all the morbid questions, but none of the trick questions are hard questions.
Yeah, that's
Another
weird.
one
But
from
this,
that.
but this is actually this is the I believe this is the last morbid question. But it's not mentioning about blood. Luckily. Okay, number 37. When were the last death penalty in Sweden? A. 1850. B. 1910. C. 1890. Or D. 1920.
I'm gonna go with C.
Going with the
D as a dog.
yeah.
Uh, D and C ain't wrong. Was actually B. 1910. It is
Dang.
actually 113 years ago. You know, one of the last executions that was a woman. I believe she was one of the last to be public executed. She She never were able. They never executed her because she killed herself before a trial. Let's say she was one of the worst in modern history. She took in several foster care kids in order to get some money from helping herself. But she drowned every single one of them because getting money. At least one. And how she was caught? Because one young mother, she regretted her choice and she wanted to have her child back. It was too late. It was then when it was found that this woman was had killed this young mother's kid and the others in before them. But she decided to hang herself before she could even be executed herself. And she was believed, as far as I believe, as Sweden's last female to be executed. Well, supposed to be executed, but yeah, this it's hard times for the countries. Number 38 for Brony. This is actually mentioning. I probably you guys heard of this. When did Alfred Nobel invented the dynamite? A. 1854, B. 1898, C. No, 1866, or D. 1822. This is actually Brony's question. He said C. 1866. Incorrect. It's actually C. You know, the dynamite. Um, it's just imagine how much like when it comes to the mining industry, how much with the dynamite in early years, how much it actually helped. Because before then, you had to be in just axes, shovels, and even as they also used fires to burn the actual rock and then pouring cold water on the rock to make it split and then easier to be digging through. So is it incredible how Nobel actually did this? That he actually came up with this dynamite. Sadly, when he died, um, he had no, he didn't had any children. That's all. So he made his in his will, and you've heard of this Nobel Prize, right?
Which one?
Have you heard of Nobel Prize?
Oh yeah, I've heard of the Nobel
Yeah.
Prize.
So his will was that he donated, I believe, it was a huge portion of his fortune, and that amount of money is donated to each uh, winner of the Nobel. When Nobel happens, Peace Prize is not taking place in Sweden. It's actually been handed over to one particular individual that has been nominated in Norway. I don't know why though. Um, during the production of how when he was invented dynamite, he actually had his. I believe his. I don't know if it was his older or younger brother in during this invention. Unfortunately, during one test or experiment, boom, his brother he was killed. It was an accident, though, but people started getting him to calling him madman, mad scientist, kind of that thing. So they he actually left Sweden for some time and actually went to America to perfect his dynamite. When he did in 1866. So all of us around the world, especially when who works in mines, had to be paying a tribute. Well, I would say had to be feel respectful because if Alfred Nobel hadn't invented the dynamite, Who knows who else would have invented it and when? It could have been much later on. So, and can also say this: if there was a from Chinese who not had invented the black powder or gunpowder, if they had even done that, dynamite has not even would have been invented otherwise. But Alfred Nobel is the one who invented the dynamite. So everyone who works within in the mining industry, they all have high regards to him because he did make a huge progress for in the mining, like coal mining or basically anything. But I doubt they will use dynamites when it comes to space in the mining operations in the asteroid belts in the future. Okay, this is a hard question, and this is for you guys. Your third
Finally.
hard question. Number 39. King Charles XIV John wasn't born in Sweden. From which country was he born in? A. Germany. B. France. C. Spain. D. United Kingdom.
I, hmm, I'm gonna say D.
France.
Or no, the UK.
Ah, D. Okay. What do you say, Roy?
I'm gonna go with A.
Germany and United Kingdom. Wrong. It's actually B. France. And here's the problem that I think I mentioned this the part of the story before. When he became the king during the winters, he literally ruled Sweden from his own bed. It's because that he didn't like much of the cold winters here in Sweden. So he had his ministers gathered in his own personal bedroom in the castle to have rule in the government and all that. In his own personal bed at all. That is probably the only country in the world that I know of that they actually did that. I mean, what? Okay, what if like U.S. president would rule the country in his own bed? That would have been something though. Okay, number 40. When did Gustav the First became the king of Sweden? A. 1548. B. 1550. Blah, 1550. Or C. 1523. Or D. 1508. And let's prone this question. He said B. Wrong is actually C. Um, this actually, you know, about the Stockholm's bloodbath, Gustav the Third, or Gustav Eriksson, which is his name is actually, his father and his uncle was two of the people that was executed during the bloodbath. Himself, Gustav the First, he was actually also invited to this place, but he came too late for the party or the celebration, so that saved him. But after he found out what happened, he left the capital and went further up north to inform some people there who was actually former supporters to the other king about this event. But unfortunately, they didn't believe him. They hadn't even heard about this then. So he decided to went to Norway on skis. And that time when they used skis, they only had one staff, not two, only one. But after sometimes he left, the news of the bloodbath in Stockholm actually had reached this particular mining town, and the people then believed actually understood what this the Gustav the First told them was true. So they sent two of the fastest people on the skis to find him, and they managed to do that. So they told him that they heard the news, the bad news, what had happened. So they convinced him to come back. And ever since then, It actually has been like a national ski competition every year. That has been I would say dedicated to the time when this king traveled from that place to other place. So every year they had a ski trip on that. I hadn't even been in it myself, but it's only I believe it's sometimes in the March what happens. Anyways, number 41. When was Sweden's royal palace finished? Since it was built in 1697, um, A, 1720, B, 1780, C, 1760, or D, 1710.
Hold on. B.
You said B.
Yep.
Uh,
I'm going with C.
B as a ball,
Yep. B is a ball.
and and
I'm going with C.
C. Okay, B, wrong. C, ding ding ding, correct. I was about to say B as a bald as you are.
I ain't bald. You're bald.
Huh, not that far away from that.
That's a
Okay, number
bald faced lie.
Really?
Yes.
Anyway, what's the next damn question before I
number
smack this guy?
number 42. How long did the House of Vasa ruled over Sweden last? A, 125 years, B, 115 years, C, 149 years, or D, 165 years. And this is actually a bonus question. He said C, and ding ding ding, correct. It's actually 149 years. And Gustav the First, let's say he had a number of living descendants to this day, which is about whew, 135,000 living descendants. That's is a lot of people. During the time of like say the 14 up to I believe 1700s, um, the kings could actually could have lovers while they were married, and it wouldn't even count as cheating. They were official royal lovers. But if those women actually had children with the king, those children would not inherit the throne. That as far as they could go. So that's one thing, though. Okay, for the brothers, number 43. How long were Gustav the First king of Sweden? A, 25 years, B, 37 years, C, 42 years, or D, 29 years.
Wait, is this a brony?
Nope, it's yours.
Alright. Hold on. Am I? Keep trying with it, Dorney. I'm going to say
You let's see, and what was the game guy go for? Since I muted, so I was he said C. Wrong. It's actually
No,
B.
wait, hang on. I'm here.
Now this will like I only answered.
I was gonna go with B anyway, so.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was B. But since you didn't even get me answered before then, so it won't count.
Ah!
So
Well, it's not like it matters. We've got 11 points, so we're fine.
Damn.
um yeah, so heads up, Malakat might do a stream tomorrow, and he gave me a question as a direct message on Discord. Yeah, I can do that question, even though this will not count as in mine. He said, equipped with a four-cylinder, 60 horsepower engine, Sweden's first fire truck was introduced in what year? A. 1904, B. 1912, C. 1908, or D. 1916.
You answer.
So what?
Yeah, you answered for Swedish. It was the question for you.
But he did actually give me the right answer already. So the 1912. Anyways, um, number 44 for Brony. How old were Gustav I when he died? A. 52 years. B. 58 years. C. 74 years. Or D. 64 years. He says B, which is wrong. It's actually D, 64. And the average lifespan during the 1500s was actually just about 50. So, ooh, this is a tricky, hard question. Even though it's not a trick or hard question for you guys, but good luck. When number 45. When did agricultural came to Sweden? Farming, actually. Let's see. A. 2500 BC. B. 4000 BC. C. 1800 BC. Or D. 3500 BC.
I'm gonna assume Malachite made this question for you.
Nope.
Sounds like a Malachite question to me. It's not even a Malachite question.
Nope.
I'm going with D.
D as a dog.
Oh, whoa. Okay, what just happened?
What happened?
The bed shifted.
Oh, that would have been me. Sorry.
Alright, that scared me. But yeah, he said D. I said D.
Okay,
Someone said D.
well, who said D?
I think you said D.
Right, he said B. What did you say, Roy?
I'm going with B.
B.
Yeah, B.
Cal, did you say B or D?
I said D.
D as a dog?
Yeah.
Okay. D ain't wrong. It's actually B. 4000 BC.
Yeah.
But that was the part when that happened. It was only in the southern parts of the country. It only spread further up north as time went on, though. Ooh, now this is a trick. Listen a little bit. Okay, right. This is a question for Brownie. This is not a trick, but this is, I would say that it kind of like a tricky, but which Swedish king was murdered by arsenic in pea soup? A. Charles the First, Charles the 12th. B. Charles the 13th. C. Eric the 14th. Or D. Charles the 10th.
Eric the 14.
Ding, 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 correct. It did happen actually. The rest of what? And the murderer was actually his own brother. Eric the 14 is actually one of Gustav the first sons, actually. Um, as far as I remember, there was some struggling who was the rightful heir, and since mental insanity was really common in that particular house of family. So yeah, but it's true. He was murdered by arsenic in pea soup, which is yeah, that was really big. Okay, trick question 46. Has there been any royal families fighting for the control of power? Yes or no? Like meaning different royal families. And this for the brothers.
Uh, B.
Yes or no
I'm gonna
question.
go.
Oh, I'm gonna go with yes.
I'm gonna go with no.
Yes, ding ding ding, correct. Several royal families actually have been fighting over to be control of the country. I believe this earliest was uh 1100s up till I believe it was around till 1600s. I believe for many different royal. Some of the royal houses or dynasties they didn't even last for more than like 100 years or something like that. But this one, current one, is the longest. I believe at least one of the longest. Okay, number 47. Hard question. On Sweden's biggest island in the Baltic Sea, there is a city that is surrounded by a stone wall. When was it built? A. 14th century. The A. 14th century. B. 13th century. C. 11th century. Or D. 8th century.
This is for Brony, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bonus.
11th century.
11th century. Wrong. It's actually 13th century. Okay, number 48. Um, when did Swedes build uh began to build defense castles? Um, I mean not like actual castles, but more as defense fortress. I would say they used stones like huge boulders to form like a ring circle as some sort of fortress. Was it A, 5th century, B, 2nd century, C, 8th century, or D, 9th century?
Uh, I'm gonna go with B.
I'm gonna go C.
2nd and 8th century? Wrong. It was actually 5th century. Number 49 for Brownie. When did Sweden make peace with Denmark? A, 1560, B, 1659, C, 1698, or D, 1720?
D.
1720? Wrong, exactly B. That was around the same time when we got the west coast and the southern part back from Denmark after that particular battle. Ooh, trick question. Number 50 for our brothers. After the peace with Sweden, did they brought back some areas from from Denmark? Yes or no? Oh crap!
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I should probably not even count it since but yes, it did.
Yay! I got it right again. I'm so good at these.
Number 51.
All right.
During the 16th century, Sweden had a king, but he wasn't born in the country. Where was he from? A. Germany, B. Denmark, C. Norway, or D. Poland? And this is Brownie's question.
A.
A. Wrong. It's actually B. Denmark. And this was the same king that actually gave the order for Stockholm's blockbat. Just saying. Number 52, hard question for you, brothers. Sweden were once part of a union during the 14th century between Norway and a third country. And which was the third country? A. Denmark, B. Poland, C. Germany, or D. United Kingdom?
I'm gonna go B.
I'm gonna go C.
Germany?
Yeah, whatever C is.
All right. B and C ain't wrong. It's actually A. Denmark.
Dang.
Number 53. How long did the union last? And this is for Brony. A. 110 years. B. 187 years. C. 124 years. Or D. 165 years.
C.
C. 124 years. Ding ding ding. Correct. It's actually 124 years. Number 54. In what year did Christian II become king of Sweden? A. 1518, B. 1520, C. 1515, or D. 1505?
B.
B or D?
That's the B.
Right.
I'm with D.
D ain't wrong. B, ding ding ding, correct. It's actually 1520. You know, this is actually the king that was ordered the blockbat to happen. And he was actually given a nickname by the Swedish people after this. He was known as Christian the Tyrant. I'm not joking. They literally named him Christian the Tyrant.
Oh, why is this computer taking 30 years for it to type?
Well, to be fair though, I mean, what would you expect if you have 82 people executed by beheading them by some of the are priests of the church and several noblemen? I mean, what do you expect? I mean, if you're executed like that in the whole for the general public to be watching, yeah, especially men of the church, like a priest, and there were even some former bishops that was even executed. What did you even expect it? Should we, if you had given them an honest trial and perhaps put them in dungeons for the rest of their lives, or even perhaps, I don't know, exile them from Sweden to another country in Europe. But had them been headed is one of the things that's completely messed up. When and understandable why this king was given the name the Tyrant as a nickname. But yeah, number 55 for Brony. How long did Christian II rule Sweden? A. 1 year, B. 9 months, C. 10 months, or D. 18 months? And this is for Brony. Brony.
Yo, bro, you gotta answer the question, man.
Don't tell me you fall asleep. Brownie, are you awake or not?
A.
You said A, 1 year? Wrong. It's actually only 9 months. That was the shortest. I believe that is the shortest ruling in my country of any royal monarch. Number 56. Hard question for the brothers. Christina was the last ruler of House Vasa before she abdicated from the throne. How long did she rule? A. 12 years. B. 29 years. C. 18 years. Or D. 32 years.
Was 18 one?
No. Come on, what was it? 12 years, 29 years, 18 years, or 32 years.
Yeah, so 18 was one. So I'm gonna go with 18. Because it sounds the most right.
I'm gonna go with B. So he goes with 18, whatever 18 is, and I'm going with B.
18, and you said B.
That's a B.
D as a dog.
I said B.
Ah. B ain't wrong. C 18. Ding, 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 correct. She only ruled for 18 years.
Yeah, that sounds
Number
right. So
number 57. After Christina abdicated from the throne, she left Sweden and moved to another European country. Which country was it? And this is for Brownie. A. United Kingdom. B. Spain. C. Italy. Or D. Germany.
Germany.
Germany ain't wrong. It's actually Italy. She lived near Rome, I believe. Number 58. How old were Christina when she passed away? A. 80 years. B. 62 years. C. 59 years. Or D. 72 years. And this was her brothers. Game guy, Roy, this is your question.
oh, sorry.
I'm going with A.
Hey, he went with A. I need to go with something else. Thank you. Alright, B. Final.
A ain't wrong. B, ding, correct. She was only 62 years old. I mean, unlike her grandfather, he was only 64. So, I mean, like I said before, the average lifespan were around 50 plus years during the 15 and 1600s. So, number 59 for Brownie. When did the women get the right to vote in Sweden? A. 1905, B. 1920, C. 1930, or D. 1950?
A.
Huh?
A.
I think he's
I
trying to say A.
did you say A?
Hmm.
A ain't wrong. It's actually B. 1920. Okay, number 60 for the brothers. How many queens have ruled Sweden? A. 5, B. 3, C. 2, D. 1.
I'm gonna think about this for a sec.
I'm rolling the dice. D. You got a 22, so that's like a super D. Uh, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say 3. Whatever 3 was.
B.
All right, then I'll go with B.
Roy said
It's a D.
D. Wrong. B. Incorrect. Was actually only 3 queens so far. The next one is the current crown princess. But when she will be, hard to say. Because the king has no plans to retire in many years. And he's already in his 70s by now.
I like that
Uh,
we have 18 points.
Number 61 for Brony. When did Sweden get its first prime minister? A. 1852, B. 1830, C. 1876, or D. 1900?
B.
B as 1830.
Hmm.
Wrong. It's actually C. 1876. Ooh, hard question. Number 62. Before Charles XIII took Charles XIV as his son, he had chosen a crown prince as his heir, but the prince died in a riding accident. From which country was the prince from? A. Norway, B. Spain, C. Denmark, or D. Austria?
All right, let's see here. Wait, is this Braun's turn or ours?
Yours.
All right, I'm going with A. I'm going with B.
A and B?
Yeah.
Ain't wrong. It's actually C. Denmark. You know, Charles XIV, that was became the which is a direct ancestor of the current royal family. He actually served as a in Napoleon's army. Anyways, number 63, trick question. Has Gustav the First had 4 wives? I mean, if he was married 4 times, yes or no? And this is Brony's question.
Yes.
I heard him say yes.
Yes, wrong. It's actually no. He only be married 3 times. Number 64. When did Sweden got its first TV, this first news channel on TV? A. 1960, B. 1956, C. 1948, or D. 1963?
Let's see. I get. I'm gonna go with C. Oh, finally we get one of these. I'm gonna go with A.
You said A. Roy said
That's C.
D as a dog.
I said C.
C. C and A.
C and A. Yeah.
Wrong. It's actually B. 1956.
Dang.
And that was a bit before my parents' time. Number 65. When did Sweden got its first female prime minister? A. 2019, B. 1990, C. 2021, or D. 2020?
A.
2019. Wrong. It's actually 2021. Unfortunately, she is no longer as the prime minister. There was a lot of scandal over some things afterwards happened to her, but I don't even care. When it comes to politics, not my thing. Okay. When was Sweden's second largest city, Gothenburg, stabilized? And that is on the west coast. A. 1635, B. 1621, C. 1648, or is D. 1632?
All right, let's see what we get. I'm gonna go with D.
I'm not gonna go with C.
Did you say B or D, Roy?
That's a D.
D as a dragon?
Yep.
You said, Kyle?
I said C.
D and C ain't wrong. It's actually D, B, 1621. Number
Dang.
60, number 67. In what year were Olympic Games held in Sweden? A. 1908, B. 1912, C. 1914, or D. 1918?
C.
B.
I'm gonna say C.
A. 1908. Ain't wrong. It's actually B. 1912. You see, there were no Olympic Games between 1914 and 1918 because of the First World War. It was cancelled. So, number 68. How big were Sweden's population around year zero? A. 15,000. B. 50,000. C. 200,000. D. 98,000.
I'm gonna go with B.
B. 50,000.
Yep.
I'm going with C.
C.
Yep.
B ain't wrong. C, ding correct. 200,000. Though I wouldn't say if there's like really correct number. I mean around year zero, like the birth of Christ. I would say there's like this estimated question, little answer or numbers. I mean that was before even books or even math was even invented. So otherwise, well, at least the math that we know of. Number 69 for Brony. How long did the Swedish Empire last before it collapsed? A. 107 years. B. 98 years. C. 150 years. Or D. 115 years.
A.
A. 170 years. Ding, ding, correct. It was actually lasted for 107 years. Okay, trick question for number 70 for the brothers. Did Sweden have 400,000 people during the year 1000 AD? Yes or no?
No.
Yes.
Yes. Ding, ding, ding. Correct. It did. Well, they at least believe that. It is a little bit hard to do, make the inexact counting, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're actually around 400,000 people. Okay, number 71 for Brony. When did Sweden got colors on TV? A. 1965, B. 1970, C. 1962, or D. 1974?
This is Broly's question, I believe.
Yep. Brony, still there?
Brownie!
What's the question again?
When did Sweden got its colors on TV? A. 1965, B. 1970, C. 1962, or D. 1974?
Mm, A.
A. 65. Wrong. Was actually 1970. Okay. Number 72. In what year did Sweden held general voting of change Swedish currency to euro, which is a basic, the mainly currency in Europe right by now? 2008, 2001, B 1998, C 2003, or D 2005? And it's the brothers.
D.
B 98.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll this dice. B.
2005.
Yeah.
B and D and wrong was actually C 2003. And it was a big no in a voting. Just saying that. Number 73, hard question for Brony. In the northern part of Sweden, a pair of skis was found and carbon dated to be the oldest in the world. And when were they made? A. 1500 BC, B. 2500 BC, or C. 3200 BC, or D. 2000 BC?
Brownie!
And yeah, and Brony fell asleep again. Who knew?
A.
Uh, A. 1500 BC. Wrong was actually C. 3200 BC. This pairs is actually even older than the Great Pyramids. Number 74, trick question. Did Sweden had 1.9 million people during the 1700s? Yes or no?
No.
Yes.
No. Ding ding ding. Correct is no. Number 75. You right 75. How big were Sweden's population during the 1300s? A. 950,000. B. 1.1 million. C. 950,000. Or D. 890,000.
D.
B. 1.1 million. Ding ding ding. Correct. It's 1.1 million. Kind of big though, considering that just during medieval times. Number 76, hard question for the brothers. In 1920, a man found a cloak in a bog and was later carbon dated to be Sweden's oldest clothing. And when was it made? A. 550 BC, B. 360 BC, or C. 420 BC, or D. 250 BC.
B.
You said B. Rory, what do you say?
Give me 1 sec. Alright. Let's see what this dice says. I'm gonna go with D.
D, wrong. B, incorrect. It's actually 360 BC.
My left hand is asleep right now.
Yeah, but luckily there's only a few questions left.
Wake up!
Number number 77. When were Sweden's car company Volvo established? A 1932, B 1945, C 1918, or D 1912. And this is for Brody.
Let's see what Brony will say.
Mr. Brownie,
B.
you said B
Mm.
1945. Wrong, was actually 1910 and 1918. You know, the funny is though, Volvo, the word, actually has a Latin name where it would be translated to I'm rolling. This is kind of weird though. Okay, number 78. When were Swedish car company Saab established? A 1932, B 1949, C 1955, D 1960. Unfortunately, it's no longer in service. It's no longer operational.
I'm gonna go C.
You said C.
I'm going D.
Lord? D as a dog.
Yep.
You said C, right?
Yeah.
D and Z ain't wrong. It's actually B 1949. Number 79. When was Sweden's Air Force stabilized? A 1930, B 1938, C 1926, or D 1915. And it's for Brownie.
Brony.
I'd like to mention how many points we have right now. We have 22.
Shocking.
That's a lot of points.
Brownie has 9 points so far. Brownie, are you alive or not? Brownie, are you still there?
B.
You said B?
Mm.
Ain't wrong. It was actually 1926. It was C. And for the brothers, final question, number 80, hard one. In 1933, a farmer found a wooden wheel and was carbon dated to be Sweden's oldest. And when was it made? A. 8th century, B. 5th century, C. 9th century, or D. 2nd century.
D.
B or D?
I said D.
I'm going A.
A ain't wrong. B, ding ding ding, correct. It's actually 5th century. It's
God.
surprising.
Alright.
It's surprising. And number 81, the trick question, and it's Brony's last question. And it's a trick question. Did Sweden have 854,000 people during the 1600? Did Sweden have 854,000 people during the year 1620? Yes or no? Ronnie,
A.
you said A, which was that would be yes. Ding, correct. Exactly yes. Well, that was the last question. It's clearly that the brothers did win with 23 against 10 points. I am pretty shocked ugh, that you actually get so many points out knowing so much about though
They
you use
did.
a D20.
The D20 wins us again.
Maybe next time I won't let you use it.
Let's use it anyway.
True. I mean, I mean, considering that Swedish history is centuries long, compared to America's, which is well, if you're considering from the foundation of the 13 colonies, if you compared your country's history, it's really young. It's really young. It's about almost 250 years. Well, my country's has it's it goes as far back as almost 6 or 8 thousand years. But if you consider the American history from the earliest settlers, then yeah, that's like at least I think it could have been about 10, 13,000 years or something like that. Um, wow, nearly 2.5 hours. um, yeah, I probably should end the stream here soon, anyways. So, um, yeah, I was surprised that the Game Guy and Roy did win the game show stream about Swedish history. Um, the next one will be July 3rd, and it's going to be an American history. So let's see what our American friends know something about their own country's history. If they don't, I will make a laugh of it.
Well, I can officially say I know more about Sweden's history than my own.
Of course.
It's true.
Oh my god, what the hell?
I wouldn't be surprised if Roy knows more about gym history than your own and than anyone else.
Nah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he knows anything about sport history, like very his from antiquity times, like BC
Um,
times, and
please, I hate sports.
You like working
same.
out, but you don't like sports.
I mean, I'm
Not the
not
same
much
thing.
I'm not much a big fan of sports otherwise, but I wouldn't say no to being watching some type of sport. Anyways, yeah, I should probably end here since I'm trying to save the hours I have left till next time on the stream. So, well, this has been a lot of fun as always. So until next time, this is Fish Diablo signing off. Bye.
See ya later.
See ya.
Goodbye.